Okay, so first of all, welcome to the demo. This is for the new batch that we are starting. The timing will be 9 to 10, same timing you have joined, right? So 9 to 10 p.m. and Monday to Saturday classes will be, right? Duration will be 2.5 months, 2 to 2.5 months, approximately 2 months, let's say, right? Um, every day we will have class. Monday to Friday we will have class. Saturday we will have coding test, right? So that's the kind of at high level the timing. Let us discuss about the course content and everything at the end of the kind of slide. And initially we will discuss about few very common topics like what is data science and all. I'll tell you what is the agenda for today's demo. In today's demo, basically we'll be discussing about, first I will introduce myself and then we'll discuss why somebody should learn data science. I'll not take a lot of your time. I'll try to make this demo as short as possible. Maybe 15-20 minutes I'll take. And then rest all sessions are your, like all time is your. You can ask me any questions, right? We can discuss if you have any queries. So we'll discuss why we should learn data science, what is artificial intelligence, what is data science. A lot of confusion in your mind because there's a new field. A lot of people doesn't know what is the difference between AI and data science. Who is a data scientist? Who is a data engineer? Who is a data analyst? Right? Uh, if you are getting selected as a data scientist, then what is your day will look like? So what kind of roles and responsibility you will be getting through a real-time example I will explain. And finally we will discuss about the course, right? So this is the agenda. So let me start from my introduction. So this is Sasmita. I will be the course instructor. Starting from day one till the last day I will be taking your classes. I have around 8 to 10 year experience, 8 to 9 year experience into data science and big data analytics. Initially, I started my career as a big data engineer. From a database administrator, I moved to big data. And after working as a big data engineer for 3 years, I joined after giving GATE exam. I joined Triple IT for full-time MTech in computer science. Once I completed my MTech, based on my thesis and other papers that I had published, right? I got um, I got a job in data science field. I started my career as a data scientist in 2016. You can find me in LinkedIn, just search Sasmita data scientist, you will get it. So I started my career as a data scientist in 2016. As a data scientist trainee, I joined in 2016 after my master's. And in 2021, in this 5 years, just now this year I got promoted to staff data scientist. So I'm managing a team. And I have a very rich experience working in different domains. In this 5 years, I have switched 3 to 4 companies, and where I have really got a lot of good opportunities to work in investment bank, to manufacturing sector, to industries like aviation, renewable energy, healthcare. Lot of things I have explored, right? Time series, deep learning, image processing, lot of different domains. NLP I have explored in this 5 years of my journey as a data scientist. And I had a good knowledge in big data also because I was working in investment bank and where the data is in petabytes. And in my master's also, my thesis was on Apache Spark on top of big data. Prior to my master's also, I was working in big data. So I had a good knowledge in big data, but I will consider myself very strong. My strength is deep learning and image processing because that is what computer vision basically you can say, right? That is what I'm currently doing. So maybe that is my strength. Okay, so this is my short introduction. Coming to this, why to learn data science? Obviously, there are certain reasons, right? Why somebody will learn a particular domain, because it's a very difficult task for anyone to switch domain, right? If it is not beneficial for you, you should not switch. Um, so there are lot of data related jobs which are trending, not only data science but data related job. If you find the term data is there, you will see the salary is very good, right? Maybe data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, any data related job, right? And after today's demo, it will be very clear to you what is the difference between each of these roles. Uh, And why we are getting a lot of hype for this data related roles? Because of this data that we are generating. So if you take just 1 minute of time, we never thought about it, but in 1 minute, 1,47,000 photos we are posting. WhatsApp, this many messages, like I don't want to read the numbers, but it is there. You can see lot of data. Every minute that we spend in internet, we are spending some, like we are leaving some data. It may be text data, it can be images. I'll give you a real-time example. I think you will find it in the next slide. You have posted in Facebook, right? Very dream bike. You have posted dream bike, photo of a bike, saying dream bike, my dream bike. So after 10 days, you will get a call from bank saying we are giving a vehicle loan. Will you be interested for this loan, right? So a lot of things nowadays are related to analytics. Every company is trying to spend money in analytics because they have lot of data, right? Any company you take, any domain, right? They are generating a lot of data, and using that data, they can really study the mind of their customers, their partners, their competitors, and hence they can generate revenue. So this data is the new oil. If you see, this data is a new oil. You can see a lot of fake profiles available in market for data scientists. People will say I have 10 years experience, 15-year experience, 11-year experience as a data scientist. But these all are fake things, and this is a Google report that I'm showing. If you don't believe me, today after the class, you go to Google Trends and search for this data science term. You will not find any data science related search before 2014, right? So you can see the trend chart in front of you. This term itself is so new that like after 2013-14, this kind of roles are there. And in fact, this is true. My husband is a software engineer, and when I got hired as a data scientist, people were not sure what is data science in 2016. Even I myself was not sure what is data scientist and what will be my role. Just I know that something related to ML I need to do because I had done some similar projects in my masters. So data scientist means, if you tell 2016 I'm working as a data scientist, it is a so fancy term, people will get confused what really you are doing, right? So it is a new term in 2014, in 2000, and I am a live example in front of you. So in 5-year experience, if somebody is getting promoted to manager, definitely that domain is new, isn't it? Otherwise, you need at least 8 years to 10-year experience to lead a team. This data science itself is very new, and if somebody has 6-7-year experience, means they are very, very senior. They are considered as senior. Why I'm showing you this slide? Many of you, after taking courses from any institute, you will try to fake. You will try to write 6-year, 7-year, 8-year, 10-year experience. And if your CV will go to your interviewer, immediately they will reject without even looking into your CV. If you write 10-year experience, if I am your recruiter, I will definitely reject you because I know the fact, right? Like me, everybody who is working in industry as a data scientist, they know the fact. Data science itself is new. If the domain itself does not exist before 2014 or 13, how you have 10-year experience, right? So please make sure when you're writing any experience in data science, it should not be 7 years, 6 years. It is a very big term. 6-year experience in data science means a lot. You are in a safe zone if you write 2-3 years of experience, right? But 6 years, 7 years, very difficult to justify. Okay, so I think this is one advantage, right? And this particular slide proves that data science is new, right? There is no doubt about it. This data science is new. And if something is new, like you, a lot of people are trying to come into this domain, and there are a lot of scopes available. Till now, there are lot of demand, and there is a very less supply. You can ask me, everybody is learning data science, so why there is a scarcity or why there is a lack of supply? Supply is there, but skilled resources are not available. I'll tell you real-time example. Very good companies, dream companies, they are searching for data scientist profile for months and still they're not getting. Lot of resumes, but skilled people, that is lacking. So if you are really skilled, job will run after you, no need to run after the jobs. And you have represented all of your learnings in a right way in your CV. Two things. First, are you skilled enough? Second thing is, have you represented or written everything that you have done nicely in your CV, right? Then definitely you'll get a job, because lot of demand is there. There is no doubt about the demand, and there is no doubt about the supply also. There is a very less skilled people are there in industry. Out of 40 people, like 35 people will be people who are very new, like they are still exploring. Maybe 4 or 5 you will find expert, even though they're from IITs, NITs, and very good institutes. So this is from my own experience I'm saying, right? It's something not from Google. I have worked in Goldman Sachs, many good companies, and I found that people are not like people are very talented, but the domain is new. So they are still exploring mode. A lot of people's, and it is very vast. So many people are not expert, even though they got a role, but they're still exploring. So that's a good thing for the newcomers. They can easily understand the things and get into it. You may not find the same situation, maybe after 4 or 5 years. The demand and supply gap may be breezing very soon, right? But today it is the thing. And other things are like data science is the future, artificial intelligence is the future. We are living in a world of AI. So there is no doubt about it. So there are a lot of reasons to come into data science. And obviously salary, right? For most of us, salary is a motivator. So motivation factor. 30% minimum hike you can expect, not as compared to your previous job, as compared to the same level of experience of a software engineer. Let's say X is a software engineer getting 5 lakhs. Y is a data scientist, same experience. Software engineer, 2 year software engineer, 5 lakhs. 2 year data scientist, maybe 10 lakhs. Almost it is double, but sometimes you can expect minimum is 30% more. Minimum is 30% more you can expect. There is no upper boundary, but I'm just telling a general figure, right? So definitely it's not a hype, it's a real time things. And I can see in the same company, data scientists are getting more paid as compared to software engineers, right? This is from real time experience I'm saying. Okay. Now, lot of applications, if you are asking me as a data scientist, what kind of roles I will be doing, it will be very interesting project. Every day will be a very, it's not like other IT domain. I remember when I was working as a database administrator, I quit the job role within 6 months because I was so bored by doing the same task. Here in data scientist, I'm working for last 6 years. It's not even a single day where I can find myself repeating something, right? Most of the times I'm struggling to understand what to read, what not to read, because a lot of things to complete. So it's a lot of things to learn here, and always it will be a lot of new things. Learning, always it will be a progressive kind of trend chart. If you see it will be a uptrend. It is never going to be constant. If you are constant means you are not growing. Your future as a data scientist is dark. As a data scientist, every day should be new learning for you, right? Why? Because the domain is so vast that you cannot complete everything. Once you complete one thing, you will forget the other thing. When you complete other thing, you will forget this thing. It's a chain kind of rule. So every day it's a new learning for you. It's very interesting domain. You may work to kind of create recommendation, for example, friend suggestion in Facebook. This is an AI application. If you're working a social media company like this, maybe you are a data scientist who will be building recommendation engines for companies like Facebook and Amazon, right? And if you are a kind of working in e-commerce companies, target marketing, you're getting ads. Most of you must have seen this. I think this particular picture, the shoe ad side to this YouTube video. So it's very irritating, but let's say sometime in Amazon you have went there and you have seen something you have not purchased, added to the cart and logged out. Same product you will find, same product you are getting recommendation everywhere in Facebook, in YouTube. So this is something which is known as target marketing. Lot of marketing, behavior analysis, target marketing, lot of this kind of projects you will be doing if you're working as a data scientist in e-commerce. If you're working as a data scientist in healthcare or maybe other Other domains, maybe you have a lot of images, ECG and X-ray reports. Like a doctor, you can create a AI model which can help the doctor, right? Basically object detection kind of projects you can handle, right? Or vehicle, Volvo kind of companies, transport, logistic, lot of image data, video data if you are having, then a lot of image processing, computer vision related projects you may be doing, right? If you're working in NLP companies, you may be creating apps like Siri, Google Home, chatbots. I think most of you already know. You may be working in some NLP companies, you may be building search engines. Most of the people don't know that Google is a product of AI. So the Google search engine that you're using, it's called information retrieval. This is a product of AI, right? So a lot of these things you will be doing. So spam detection, or if you're working in network company, network intrusion detection, cyber attacks. So every domain, tell in any domain name, I can tell you applications. As a data scientist, you are not stick to one role. Today you are in investment bank, tomorrow you can switch to healthcare, day after tomorrow government jobs, DRDO and other things have openings, day after tomorrow you can join service-based company, day after tomorrow you can join aviation, renewables, because data is something which is input for you. Domain is just a matter of like 1-2 months of training, right? So I think a lot of domain has different kind of applications. That is what I'm trying to tell you. And from here, you can understand what kind of projects you will be working. Every project is interesting. You might be building a chatbot, you might be building applications like Siri, Google Home, you might be building search engines, right? These are high level applications. Simple applications are recommendations, or basically predicting the sales report for your company for the next quarter, right? To predicting how much energy will be produced by the plant in the next 6 months, to kind of classifying whether a particular day it will be rainy or windy, forecasting GIS related data like geospatial data analysis, lot of applications. Any domain you have lot of projects. E-commerce, then very interesting projects, target marketing, behavior analysis, churn prediction. So every domain has application, right? So you understood why you should learn, and then you understood if you are recruited as a data scientist, what kind of jobs you will be doing or projects. So this is one real-time application. Most of the people think I'm a mechanical engineer, electrical engineer. So what kind of, why AI I should learn and why this should help? So my answer is irrespective of your domain. Computer science is very relevant, and if you have a statistical economics and computer science background, these are the most relevant background for data science. But having said that, after joining companies, I understood if you are from mechanical and electrical, actually you can switch your company as or maybe internally you can try to do some AI application because you already have that domain knowledge. Domain knowledge in this particular manufacturing sector is very important. Even though you're working as a data scientist, little bit domain knowledge is very important. So you are very strong in domain knowledge because you are from mechanical and electrical. Just if you learn the AI skills, you will be irreplaceable. See why I'm saying irreplaceable. A data scientist will be knowing data science skills. He or she will not be expert in domain. You are a person who is expert in domain, plus you have data science. So that's the advantage you will get. So people who are having a mechanical electrical background, if you have done your BTech there, try for Tata Steel, other kind of GE, right? This kind of manufacturing company. You can be recruited as a data scientist there, and you will love the job because you will implement domain plus AI together, right? This is one example. See, very simple example, anybody can understand. Not even any high level, hi-fi modeling. This is very simple time series plot. So let's say temperature. So what is happening is we have sensors in every machine. And let's say what happened is in one machine, one temperature of that machine is kind of suddenly it started going, sorry, where is that? Yeah, suddenly one day it started rising up, right? I have not implemented any modeling here, but this is just if you look at this picture, you can clearly see that there is something wrong in that sensor. Since last 2 days, it is not behaving normal. If you will not generate alerts, or if you will not see what really happened, if you not visit physically and see, what will happen is after 4 or 5 days, the machine will fail. It is generating noise. Because of that, maybe temperature or heat is generating more. But this is a kind of helpful in AI systems. We call it predictive maintenance. Before the machine fails, we will predict, if you do not renew your contract, this machine is going to fail in next 1 month because of its behavior or pattern that we are getting, which is abnormal, or the temperature is going up continuously for last 3 days. And we are expecting, if it continues, if you do not repair today, it may fail in next 3 days. So if you alert, then they will go and they will see, the field engineer will see and do certain things so that you can prevent, right? You can actually prevent the failure, and lot of revenue you can save. So this is a very simple example. So e-commerce, every example you will understand, but people will be confused how AI can be used in manufacturing. Yes, AI can be used in manufacturing a lot of things. This is a very simple example, right? Anomaly detection or alert generation, smart signal monitoring, the project, right? Okay, so coming to other, this is a kind of skills. So how to become a data scientist? So there are certain steps to become how the data science project will work. When you join the course in detail, I will explain, but now at high level, first you will collect the data. Data can be in any format. It can be semi-structured, structured, unstructured, right? Image, video, JSON file, Excel file, database, SQL tables, or maybe MongoDB. We don't know. Anywhere data can be. So you have to collect the data first. Once you collect the data, you will clean it. So a lot of times data will be missing, data will be noisy, a lot of points will be anomaly or not good data, right? You have to clean your data. You have to make sure your data is properly noisy free and cleaned. And then you have to understand the problem statement, what exactly you're trying to do. And based on that, you can apply modeling. Then you can show the results to your client. Basically how to represent the results. Maybe you can create an app, or you can show the results in a dashboard. So depends, right? And then finally you can deploy it. Where you want to deploy, again, application team will take care of deployment. As a data scientist, you just need to coordinate with them, right? From data collection to model validation, it's your job. It's primarily your job. After validation, deployment is a combined effort. Data science team will just coordinate, data engineering team will deploy, right? So a lot of techniques you need a certain database knowledge for data collection. You need pandas and other Python libraries for data cleaning. You need modeling techniques like deep learning and machine learning. And we have certain libraries like Keras, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Spark ML, and then we have this sklearn from Python. So these are the libraries name which will help you for modeling, which has ML and DL algorithm already implemented. Like you have to visualize your data, you need to understand a bit about visualization libraries. Either you use Plotly or third-party pay packages like Tableau or Spotfire, or Plotly, Seaborn, Matplotlib to visualize your data. Finally, coming to cloud and other platforms just for deployment. So where to deploy, maybe sometimes you have to implement it in cloud, or sometimes you have to create a web app. So you no need to learn Django Flask for that. There will be web development or application team will take care, but a little bit knowledge about cloud will definitely help you. Not strong, but basic understanding is enough, right? So these are the skill set required. Not detail I'm telling, again, I don't want to take a lot of time of yours. Later, when you join the course, when we do a lot of projects, we will see all of the steps in detail one by one, right? I think I'm leaving this slide as of now. This is the difference between ML, artificial intelligence, and other terms. So artificial intelligence is nothing but it's a combination of everything. Inside artificial intelligence, every domain is fitting. Like, for example, standard 2, right? Inside standard 2, you have a lot of subjects. Hindi is there, mathematics is there, English is there, combination of everything. One term is standard 2. Like that, machine learning, deep learning, information retrieval, natural language processing, soft computing, everything together, it is called artificial intelligence, right? So artificial intelligence is nothing but it's a single term for all of the techniques. ML is one domain. If it is text data, NLP is one domain, computer vision is one domain, everything together. So you have built a chatbot. Is it AI? Yes, because I have used NLP. You have built a recommendation engine. Is it AI? Yes, because I have used ML. You have built a smart signal analysis. Is it AI? Yes, because it is IoT plus ML. You have done some time series analysis. Is it AI? Yes. So whatever you do using any of this technique or hybrid, 2-3 techniques combined together, it is called AI. So don't confuse yourself next time when you heard this term AI. AI means everything, right? Everything combined together is single term called AI. Everything is coming under that, right? Okay. So course highlights we will see. So this course duration is 2 months, approximately 55 to 60 hours of course, you can say. And we have everyday class Monday to Saturday, and Saturday will be the coding test. Monday to Friday class 9 to 10 p.m. I already told you all of this. Coming to what is the objective? Objective is to help you to change your career to data science. You can showcase at least, I mean, whether you are showing it or not, that's up to you. But the knowledge that you will gain is very much equivalent to 2 to 3 years experience person who is working as a data scientist. How much knowledge he will gain? The same knowledge you will gain from this course, right? This is a summarized course of all of my experience together, plus the kind of interview patterns that you will get, what kind of coding test you will be going through, and what kind of interview questions you can expect. Basically projects, right? How you have understood one theory, but how to implement it in a project. So 15 plus projects we're going to do. And every section has project. Deep learning 3-4 projects, image processing 2-3 projects. So every domain we have projects. So total we have 15 plus projects, and we have chapter wise assignments. We have CV preparation, everything is there, right? So it's a complete course, and it's end-to-end delivery, starting from Python installation to a point where you can write your own CV, right? Till that point we will take you, and every class will be recorded, and recordings will be provided. And yeah, I think this is what it is. And please go through the course content once. After this class, everybody will get the course content in the email, and I will suggest everyone to go through the course content once. If let me show you if it is there, right? Okay, I have it, the recent one. So the Word document, please go through the course content, or give me 1 minute. Let me share you the course content here. So everything is there in the course content. I just want to take you through the course content once, and then you can ask me any doubts if you have any questions, right? So give me 1 minute. Let me open the course content. Okay. So okay, I got it. So I'm just sharing my screen. Okay, so the course will start with, I'm just giving you a brief. Please go through it in detail, right, after this class. So first it will start with Python, but you are going to get 170 hours of recording from Durga sir, right, for Python. So entire Python section, Durga sir's recording is enough. Like, it's actually more than sufficient. So whatever Python is needed for my course, I am covering. So even though you have not you're not looking those videos, 100% you can understand, because whatever Python is needed for data science, that I'm going to cover. But additional modules like decorators, generators, file handling, regular expression, all of these modules you can find from Sir's recordings, right? Materials plus recordings, 170 hour you will get. That is completely free. You can get it from this course, right?
Shashmita, just one question over here.
Hmm.
Like for data science, we don't need the complete Python course. So the ones which you have listed over here, those are the main course material that we are looking, we will be focusing on, right?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. Yeah. So
Okay.
see, yeah. So one programming language, if you know in detail, definitely that will help you, right? For example, somebody knows object oriented programming, how to write in Python, somebody doesn't know. So you can write your concepts in a kind of definition function and then call and everything, and then init method, main method. So that program will look like that program will look good. But if somebody has not written within main method, that program is not wrong. So what I'm saying is the mandatory Python parts which is needed for a data scientist, without which you cannot complete a data science project, that I am covering in this course. Additional Python modules which will make you a good programmer, right? That will be covered in Durga sir's recording. Is it clear? So the recordings will help you to become a good programmer. The Python knowledge that I am providing you is mandatory, without which you cannot code any project, you cannot complete, right? So the mandatory part I am completing. The additional part you can see from Durga sir's recording. Is it important? There is nothing called not important in AI, but what is how much important? The prioritize, if you prioritize the things, this is very important. Once you complete this Python modules, then you can go to Sir's Python modules, right? Other modules in Python. What is important in Python? Basic core Python, quickly we will cover. After that, we'll go to the advanced modules. In advanced modules, we'll be looking NumPy, Pandas. These are the libraries for data analysis and data manipulation and mathematical operation. After that, we'll go to visualization. So in visualization, I think this course content is not up to date. I don't have the correct course content. So please refer the up to date content. Okay, I think this is not the one that I need to show. But anyways, just you can see at high level. Yeah. So after this, the visualization part will be looking, or let me summarize in fact. So the visualization part, you will get three libraries, that is Plotly, Seaborn and Matplotlib. Seaborn and Matplotlib, 4 to 5 hours content. I will share you previous batch recording. Plotly is the new library which we will learn in depth, and Plotly is very, very recent library. If somebody is working as a Python developer, ask them about Plotly. They must be knowing. Plotly is the interactive library. It's very advanced as compared to Matplotlib and Seaborn. So almost 10 to 15 different charts: bar chart, histogram, strip plot, swamp plot, violin plot, box plot, right? Almost like heat map, sunburst chart, 10 to 15 different charts. How to do it using Plotly and Plotly Express, we will discuss. Along with that, statistics. After visualization, NumPy, Pandas, Core Python, Python module is over. Then we will start the next module, statistics, and then we'll start machine learning. In machine learning, we are going to see linear regression, polynomial regression, logistic regression. These are the algorithms. How we will see each algorithm? Complete theory, detailed mathematics, every derivative, everything, complete understanding of theory, plus one project in the class, plus one project you will practice in the coding test. Every algorithm, 2 projects and complete theory, right? In that way, we will complete. So all of this algorithm, once we complete, I'm not going and reading each algorithm name. You can go through. I'm just telling you the section names at high level. Python core, Python advanced, visualization, statistics and ML. After we complete this, next is your deep learning section. We're going to use TensorFlow and Keras. These are the libraries, and the concept that we are going to learn is ANN, Artificial Neural Network, and CNN, Convolutional Neural Network. 2 projects we will do, 3 projects. So 2 projects is on ANN and 2 projects is on CNN, right? Each algorithm, the same pattern. One project in the class, one project in the coding test, right? Once we complete deep learning, we'll see time series. So time series, once we complete that, NLP we will see, and finally we will see Apache Spark. So this syllabus is very recently developed, and what I found is this Apache Spark, everything, it is going to 3 months. It is not, I'm not able to complete in 2 months. So it is going to 2.5 months at least. So your batch onwards, I have planned to give the recordings of Spark. We are not going to see live sessions. I'll be forwarding the recordings of Spark, but it is not like at the end of the sessions I will be sharing. In the very beginning, when you join the course, within the first week, you will get Tableau recordings and Spark recordings from my site. So it is a live class for 2 months. You will be connected. So please go through Apache Spark and Tableau recordings at your own time. And any questions, there will be a doubt clearing sessions. Maybe 1 or 2 sessions will connect. Any doubt related to anything, after you see the recording, you can ask and we will discuss. It is related to Spark and Tableau. So except Spark, rest all things we will do live, right? We'll complete all the parts, and bonus lectures I will be sharing, which is not even there in the this is not the up-to-date one. Please see the correct course content. In that you will find Seaborn Matplotlib video 5 hours, Tableau videos 5 to 7 hours, plus you will get the Apache Spark video, which is almost like 8 to 9 hours, almost like 20 to 25 hours video from my side you will get. And for any of my videos, I will be there for 2 months. So any doubt, any time you can ask. You can ask in the regular classes, you can ask in the weekends, and I will be clarifying. Plus 170 hour of videos from Durga sir you will get. Right, so this is my recordings are just not recordings. So Matplotlib, Seaborn, Tableau and Spark. You can ask me any doubts, right, after looking the recordings. So it's a kind of live class only, but instead of me talking, you just see the video and ask doubts. Rest all things like machine learning, deep learning, NLP, statistics, visualization, Python, core and advanced, we'll see in the class. Along with that, 15 projects, interview questions, lot of things we will discuss, right? I'll pause here. Any questions?
Hi, madam. Digvijay here. Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello. I have two questions actually. One question is that, as you told, we will get a knowledge equivalent to the person having 2 years of experience. So, how can we mention this knowledge, our project in our resume? Are there any resume related session how to mention this type of thing? And second question is, I have 8 GB RAM laptop. So, are this software compatible with this laptop?
Yes. So sorry, I could not hear the first question. The laptop question I heard. So laptop, okay, yeah. So I will tell you about everything in consequent like subsequent demos.
I will.
But at
Okay,
least
I
8
will
GB.
repeat.
1 second. So at least 8 GB of RAM is what I will recommend, because deep learning is there now. Your system will hang it with 4 GB. But if you don't have, that's okay. You can use Google Colab. But better 8 GB RAM, irrespective of operating system.
So my first question is, as you told, we will get a knowledge equivalent to the person having 2 years of experience.
Yeah.
So how to mention this project and all the things in the
Yes.
resume? Are there any sessions related to the mention
Correct.
how to mention things? That is
Yes,
what
yes.
I am asking.
Yes, I got it. So yes. So we have CV preparation class. So at the end of the sessions, completely last sessions, 3 hours we will connect only for interview preparation and CV. It's not only CV. I'll tell you what kind of questions you can expect, right? Like a lot of real-time questions they will ask. For example, what is the team size? Where you have deployed this model? A lot of this kind of questions we will discuss. Plus the CV preparation. I'll share you some templates also. 3 to 4 templates. I'm not telling you to copy those, but at least you'll get an idea, right? How to write in a proper format. I'll also take you through my resume and help you to write down how to write each project. So in short, the answer is yes, we have a kind of class dedicated only for CV preparation, right? And the course fees is 16,000. The course fees will be 16,000. And the duration is yeah, I got a very good question. I'll take this from the chat window. How it is possible to complete data science in 2 months? It's a very valid question. So there is no term called complete in data science or in AI world. There is nothing called complete. If you do PhD also, you will do PhD in a small section of data science. Maybe in NLP, you will select one domain. In one domain, you will select one problem. You will spend 5 years of your life solving that problem. So what is this area? This is called research area. So there is nothing called complete here. So it is a continuous learning, but the scope of this course is 2 years of experience. And you join here or you join in any other institute. I'm not even comparing with other institutes. You take high level institutes, I don't want to name it. You pay there 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 1 lakh and above. The GST that you are paying there is the course fees actually here, right? Paying is separate thing, but what I'm saying is if you compare the syllabus, the main topics for data science is ML and DL, isn't it? Python and other things are just the supporting course, but the main content is ML and DL. And ML and DL, you will get the same hours, how much you are getting here. Maybe 5 to 10 hours more you will get, but like what I'm trying to tell you is in that 1 year of duration, PG diploma course you will do, right? So in that 1 year of duration, 3 months they will teach you Python only. And I'm not telling just like faking. You can ask them, right? And many of my students, I'm teaching for last 6 years. Many of my students have shared their materials. They have joined in very good institutes. I'm not questioning about their quality, but when it comes to time, right? See, quality and quantity, there are two things. If you're getting quality teaching, right, time will be less. If you are spending more quality teaching with more time, pay will be more. So everything is a very straightforward equation. You're getting lot of quantity, lot of time, definitely quality will be bad. You think about a real-time practitioner who is working in a very good company. Why they will come to teach you for 6 months in 16,000? Who will teach you for 6 months? A professional who himself is not a good teacher, right? Or maybe are not so efficient, is not getting job anywhere. That's why coming to teach you. Maybe like you, taken some course and teaching you. But if somebody is coming from IITs, NITs, or a professor or a kind of real-time practitioner, per hour charges will be more. The course fees ultimately will be more, right? And the quality will be good. So everything is a straightforward equation, right? You have to pick what you want. You want quantity, you want quality, you want everything is the same equation. 3 months they will teach you Python. 2 months they will teach you SQL. 1 month they will teach you Tableau. 2 months they will teach you R. Check their syllabus. It's not like something I'm telling story. 1.5 months to 2 months R, 2 months SQL, 4 months gone, 1 month Tableau, 5 months gone, 3 months Python, 8 months gone. When it comes to ML statistics, deep learning, you will get the same 2 months. Are you getting? So when it comes to machine learning and deep learning, you will get 2 to 3 months of training only. Do you think the professor will keep on teaching? My brother is a IIT professor in IIT Chennai, Dr. Susant Kumar Panigrai. I know what is the weightage of a IIT professor. They're hiring IIT professors to teach, right? Every hour they will be charging 40-50,000 per hour, right? Or maybe even more. So their 15-20 hours is lot of things they will teach you. So what I'm trying to tell you, don't expect from a IIT teacher to teach you for 1 year complete machine learning, deep learning. No, other courses they will teach. When it comes to ML and DL, the time is same, 2 months only you will get. Is it clear? Other times you will be spending learning other concept, right? Yes. So lot of online trainings are also available, which is free of cost. You can see NTPL lectures and others, correct? But only thing is these topics are very complicated. Along with learning, you need a real-time professional's help who can help you to show you the path. Most of the content you will get online. You no need to join any course. You can learn yourself. But the problem is how to represent what is happening to the real-time interview, what they're asking, right? How to write those things in the CV. Should I give more importance to this particular section, or should I leave it? Should I learn Flask? Is it important? Or should I learn Django? Should I learn distribution in statistics? Is it important topic which will come in the interview? Or should I spend more time learning some other topic? Should I learn both Spark and Hadoop, or Spark only I should learn, Hadoop I should skip? Which cloud platform I should learn? So the problem is there are a lot of things to learn and you don't know the path. So that is the only advantage you will get if you are joining a course. Within a short duration, you can get a path, right? Which will help you to crack interviews. So you will understand the important points. You will understand which all topics are important to prioritize. You will understand which kind of CV you will prepare and what you can expect from the interviewer. So the same thing which you could have covered yourself in 6 months, maybe 4 months of your time I can save, right? But the content is same. Linear regression is linear regression. Whether you see a YouTube video and learn, or I will teach the same thing, only I'll teach you, isn't it? I will not discover linear regression myself. What is there, I will just deliver. So is this clear? What is the difference between a interactive class versus self-learning course? Self-learning courses are very wonderful when you join as a data scientist. You're already a data scientist. You don't have that headache of getting a job. You just want to upgrade yourself. You learn, you learn yourself. But when you really want to come into a domain which is completely new, you don't know anything. So you might be focusing a lot of time in cloud, but you will not find any one question from cloud. Maybe the interviewer asking you about PCA, but you don't know that, right? So that is the correct path you will get. That's the only thing. When a real-time professional is teaching you, they can tell you what is trending right now in industry, what kind of topics you can focus, right? That's the only advantage. Okay, so I think this number you can see in my screen. You can connect with ma'am. She will be the point of contact for registration, right? She will help you.
Hello, ma'am. Can I ask something?
Yes, yeah.
Actually, I did my BTech in mechanical engineering. If I am going to enroll this course, after completion of this courses, I'm ready to work as a data scientist, or I have to start my career in IT sector with other profiles.
See, I will suggest if you are already working in some company, try to switch internally first. If that is not the scope, check your profile, right? I'm just I'm just telling to everyone, not only to you. I think this is a very common question. Can I switch to data science? Is it possible even, right? So two things I will tell you. Check your profile. You will be knowing your profile, right? If it is good profile, definitely it will get shortlisted. If it is not a good profile means what? You don't have any gaps. You have a good career, like at least some decent mark you have got, right? Like 8 points or something in, because that matters when they filter CVs for data science, right? They see background, they see education, everything. So if your CV is really good, even though you're working currently as a test automation engineer or software engineer or DevOps or data engineer or any other field, you can write 2 years of experience. There are ways and you can switch. But let's say you know your profile better. If you are a complete fresher, today only you passed out, or next month you will pass out, zero experience, you don't have any experience in data science, you are not from IITs, NITs, or even though you are, okay, so you are from normal colleges, plus you don't have a CSE background or MCA background or BCom or statistical background, you are from mechanical, electrical, and you are fresher. So you should try for data analyst. That will be easy, smooth move, because you can try for both data science and data analyst, but the probability of getting shortlisted for data analyst will be more in that case. Data analysts are half data scientist. As a data analyst, this entire course will make you a very, very, very expert data analyst. Lot of advanced things you will learn because it's a data science course. With this course, only one thing you should learn, which is not there, that is SQL. It is mandatory for everyone, whether you are a data engineer, data analyst, or data scientist. SQL is like a universal topic, right? And I have not included because I think most of you already know it, or you can get it from internet. Free resources are available. If you want, I can share you resources for SQL. SQL, if you know, and Python, visualization, other concepts are very clear, you can crack data analyst interview. So once you start working as a data analyst for 1 or 2 years, internally you can switch to data science, or next move can be a data science. Is it clear to everyone? If your profile is very good, try for data science. You can showcase 2 years of experience and then try, because freshers, they may not accept you as a fresher, right? If you don't have a valid educational background. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Venkat. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so actually, to be honest, I'm not a very bright student. I'm a very mediocre student. So would you mind, if I ask questions in the middle, I mean, when you are teaching the concepts, would you be able to, repeat only a particular concept which I have doubt in?
Okay, so see, so the main intention is it is an interactive class, right? Otherwise, there's a lot of self-learning courses are there. So why should you join, right? Even I would not have been joined some course if it is one-way communication, because a lot of sources are there I can learn. If somebody is not clearing doubt, why should I join the interactive class? Having said that, it's also a group class. So there might be some questions which might be, if I repeat 1 or 2 times, other may feel bored. So I have to balance. So the process that we follow, when you join 2-3 classes, you will understand the process we follow is 5 to 10 minutes you need to give me. Do not interrupt when I'm talking, right? When I'm talking about a topic, let me finish that topic. For example, let's say I'm talking about linear regression. So I will first make you understand the concept. Please listen 10-15 minutes. Then I will tell you this concept is completed. If you have any question, please ask. That time you can write your questions in the chat window. Also, you can unmute and ask. I will answer all of your doubts. I will repeat maybe one time, but after one time repetition, if it is not clear, please wait. When the class is over, we will discuss, right? And after, let's say there are something lagging from your side. For example, I will tell mean median mode, but if somebody doesn't know mean median mode, so that's a very basic concept, right? I cannot go to that level. So what I will tell you in that case, I'll give you some topic names. You have to read and come to the class next time when you connect. So I will help you in all possible way so that you can understand. The ultimate goal is to make you understand, right? So I will try my best to help you in clearing all your doubts. Is it clear? So there is a way. Maybe when you join 2-3 class, you will understand, right?
Yes, ma'am. Got it, ma'am. And another question is, let's say after 2 months, after we have completed the course, I have a few doubts regarding the previous concepts. Then is it, is it accepted to be asking questions even after the course? I mean, like after maybe
Yeah.
2.5 months after we have completed.
So the process is like this we do. So before the CV preparation class, I give you 1 week time. Every batch we do this. So there will be 1 week gap. So let's say this Friday. So next class will be on next Saturday. Last class will always be on weekend. The CV preparation and doubt clearing class. So you will get 8 to 10 days time to revise. And that is your time where you have to finish everything. Whatever doubts, whatever it is, every day definitely you can ask. Let's say yesterday's doubt, today definitely you can ask. But if you have some pending topics, try to finish in that 1 week time, or basically Saturday, Sunday, if you include 10 days time. After that, in the doubt clearing session, you can ask all the doubts that you have. And that is, I think, fair kind of time that we are giving you to complete all the pending topics. But in case any doubt is pending, so maybe within 1 week or very short duration we can answer. But if you ask me after 5 months or 6 months, I may not be able to answer or reply because I'll be busy in other batches, right? So the answer is to your question, try to finish or try to ask all your doubts within the course duration. After completing the course, we will give you 10 days gap so that you can revise everything, and we will conduct a doubt clearing class after 10 days, after 1 week basically. In that doubt clearing class, take that class as your last class to ask any doubts. If you miss that class, later I may respond, I may not. Okay.
Okay, ma'am, got it. And one last final question. What all videos that you have mentioned that you will be giving us the course content and the Durga sir's content, what is the validity of those classes, ma'am? I mean, after the course
6
also.
months. Yes, 6 months validity is there. So after the course also 3 times you can revise. So 6 months access you will have for the course recordings. Every materials you can download, course content, all the materials you can download. I think that will remain with you every time, but recordings will stay with you for 6 months, right?
Okay, okay. That's it, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Rupesh here.
Yes, I will take this as the last doubt because we have this classes tomorrow also, right? Demos. So we can continue tomorrow, but maybe I can take this as last course. So, sorry, last question. One more thing is just note down this number, any doubt, right? Throughout this course. And one more thing I just wanted to tell you, take this as your last option, but let's say something is not getting resolved with this number, right? Bhavani ma'am, you can reach out. Recordings is not uploaded. Any materials I am responsible, but recording institute will upload. Any concern if you have, directly call to ma'am. Try to resolve from her, but let's say something you want to talk to me one-to-one, which you cannot discuss in the class, you can also call to this number and reach out to me every day, 5 to 6 I'm available during that time, but try to make those calls less number of calls as possible as less. Don't ask me doubts in phones because doubts you can anyway clear in the class. Anything, let's say CV, I am from this domain, I'm not sure whether this is looking good, or anything related to this domain, do you know any projects? So this kind of career related things, or any personal thing, or let's say, ma'am, I'm not able to understand this topic, you explained 3 times but I could not understand, what next I should do? So any related concern, you can directly reach out to me through this number in this entire duration, 2 months. And for registration, this is the number. For course content, for any concern, this is the number, you can directly reach out to her, right? For enrollment also, you can reach out to her. She will give you all the details. Okay.
I'm Mr. Rupesh here.
Yeah, Rupesh, I'll take this as last doubt or last query. Tomorrow we will continue.
Ma'am, basically, I'm not from the IT background. I didn't complete the BTech like that. I'm a language expert, but I'm working as like a language expert and the IT team, and I want to move in the data science. So where will I will find the difficulty learning?
Sorry, I think your voice is little breaking. I could not hear you properly. Could you repeat?
Yes, ma'am. Basically, I'm not from the IT background. I didn't have learned or I didn't have completed the BTech or IIT from some institute. But I have a language expert, and so where I will find to, and I want to move in the data science. So where I will find the difficulty to learn.
See, I told you, right? 2 things. I just generalized. You know your background better. You may not be from IIT and NIT. See how many people are from IIT. So there are 100 of roles, maybe not 100 lakhs of roles, but maybe 100 of people are from IIT. So all the positions are not fulfilled by IIT people, right? So what I'm saying is there are a lot of demand. Still, there is a scope for non-IITians, and I'm not from IIT. I'm from triple IT though, but I'm not from IIT. My BTech is from normal college. Though my percentage was good, but I am from non-IIT background, but still I can crack Goldman Sachs, right? Where everyone is from IIM, IIT and all. I am working in a company where out of 40 people, 38 people are from IIT, but I am not, right? So what I'm telling you is degree matters. I'm not saying in our AI degree does not matter, but is not more than degree. What matters is skill, how much skilled you are. So you know your profile better than me. So you ask yourself, profile in the sense, I'm not asking you to come from IIT or NIT or triple IT. You may be from normal background, but you will have a decent profile. Decent means there should not be any gaps. At least in a software field, you should have at least some programming experience you should have. You should know the flow, software engineering life cycles, Scrum meetings you should attend. At least you should know basics about programming language. It should not be completely new to you. So if you are coming from that background, you have a bit about cloud knowledge, or at least something related to software if you're doing coding, then I think it's an easy move for you to take this course, and smartly you can write some of the projects and talk with your data science team, understand what your client is looking for, what kind of AI projects your company is investing, what kind of, so you have to do a little bit of analysis, and based on that, prepare your CV and start applying. Now, if you're from a background completely fresher, or you have gaps, or you know that your profile is not so good, try for data analyst. Honestly speaking, data science, when they filter, they look at your profile. They don't filter randomly. Are you getting? Because it is a very demanding skill. So they look at your profile. At least for good companies, I can tell, for service-based and even for service-based company, even for startups, they look at your profile. They don't randomly select. Even though you're not from IIT and NIT, but you should have a decent, good profile. Otherwise, I don't want to tell any fake things here. It's very honest thing. So yes, your profile has a weightage in selection. That is what I understood from my experience, but you know your profile. So if it is very good or at least average profile, try to apply for data science, otherwise try for data analyst. But even though you're applying for data analyst, 80% of the syllabus will be helpful. Additional things you will learn which may not be helpful, like NLP, deep learning and other stuff. ML, time series, other things, I think you can also write in your CV as a data analyst. You should learn SQL, right? Are you getting, is it clear to everyone? Freshers, not so good background, data analyst. Good background, data science.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Santosh. I'm from BSc Math, and I'm pursuing my MCA. I'm not want to going from coding side. Do you suggest any courses for me?
You are very much relevant profile. No, BSc in mathematics plus MCA. So what more you need? Just learn Python, become a coding expert. So your CV will be shortlisted easily because you have BSc in mathematics, right? So data science is ultimately math. So all ML, DL are math algorithms. So it's a very relevant profile. Only thing is you need to learn coding. Without coding, you cannot be selected. First round is coding test, so you'll be rejected. So if you spend some time learning Python very well, I think you are a very good fit. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Hi, ma'am. One more question.
So I'm really getting late.
Yeah, I know that this is a specific one. My name is Vishnu. I
This
have
is
already.
last question I'm taking. Tomorrow onwards, we'll continue, right? Tomorrow also we have demo sessions. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much. So my name is Vishnu. I have already registered for this course. And can I know, is this link for the entire course or it should be the different one?
No. This is only for the demo. We'll have Google
Okay.
meeting. We will
So
have.
from where I will get the right link for the session?
I think people who join today's demo, so you can skip 2 days because same thing, people will ask the doubts, right? So we'll have 2-3 classes. After that, from this Thursday onwards, we'll start the content. So
Yes.
2-3 days, tomorrow it will not be 1 hour demo. We'll make it short, maybe 30 minutes. Day after tomorrow also 30 minutes. I'll tell everyone to go through today's recording for any queries. And Thursday onwards, we'll start the content. And
Yes.
Yeah, so Vishnu, so
Yeah.
basically the same link you have to join for maybe 1 week. Next Monday
Okay.
onwards, ma'am will share you the link.
Okay.
He will
Yeah,
email you.
okay, thanks so much. And one more thing, for Saturday classes. So can I know what time are you planning for the session?
Saturday coding test, mostly it will be morning,
Okay.
8:30 to 10. But if you are okay with evening, you can join evening.
Oh, evening means what time?
So the problem is it is 1.5 hour session. So evening will be too late. That's why we are taking it on morning.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I already contacted you before in the phone. So the time difference, because of the time difference, I'm not in India. So
Okay. So I think Saturday we can discuss based on everybody's priority.
okay.
I'm okay because it's your test, right? I just will connect for 30 minutes. 1 hour you will practice. So I think we'll discuss and then
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow onwards. And thank you everyone. Good night.
Thank you.
Yeah.